Jurassic Park.
Yeah, John Williams, baby.
That's how he comes up with all his musical ideas.
I saw it. Yeah, there was a great interview where it's not like Glenn Gould like humming when he's playing the Goldberg variations. He's not actually playing the music as he's humming it. He always starts by vocalizing, by humming, by going da da, and he's off key too. And it's not. And I had to make sure of this. It's not just like now that he's an old man. Like I went back to him doing the Superman score. And he's like it sounds like shit. I mean, and this is like the film composer, American film composer of our lifetimes.
Yeah, I have a box set of John Williams rarities and B-sides and EPs and stuff, and
B-sides.
It's crazy. Like half of it is unlistenable.
Oh yeah, terrible. Yeah. I imagine that's kind of, well, every composer's a little different, right?
Yeah.
Because then you have like your Hans Zimmer who's got the Hans Zimmer factory.
Yes.
And it's like who really writes the music? Is it Hans himself or is it unnamed intern number 5?
Yeah. Who watches The Watchmen?
Yeah, and that's really what this show's about. It's a new year. It's a new year.
It is a new year. Woo!
Yeah, woo!
Happy New Year.
Where's the noisemaker sound like?
And just the horn ones.
Yeah, and the parumpa-pum-pum.
Yes, the little drummer boy.
I watched the little drummer boy stop motion, like the Rankin and Bass one.
I can't wait for them to remake it.
It's kind of rough. I don't know.
Really?
Well, the thing is, like the Rankin. Yeah, I don't know. I watch a lot of the Rankin and Bass.
Do those count as a franchise?
I mean, yeah, for sure they do. More so than other things we've covered, I'm sure.
Yeah, you're true.
Yeah, Rudolph, great. The rest of them, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, no, well, we don't. That's not what we're here to talk about.
It's not what we're here to talk about, but I will say,
yeah.
I remember the little drummer boy, and you can make fun of me for this, making me cry.
No, it's very soulful.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, no, totally.
Okay.
Totally. Yeah. I didn't cry. See, because I watched it just recently.
Yeah.
As a
28-year-old
man. Is that accurate? That's where we're at. 28.
I think that's canon.
The coolest age. Yeah. How was your holidays? You went to
I was in Florida.
The greatest state in the Union.
One of them for sure. Top 3.
No, number 1.
It's like Florida, Alaska, and Bama. Roll Tide.
Yeah, of course. Alaska, yeah. As seen in the Simpsons movie.
Oh my God! Yeah, you're right. And I think they're coming out with a new one of those allegedly.
Simpsons movie?
Yeah,
really?
I heard that. Who knows if it's real? But then that would qualify.
Why
as a franchise.
not? Yeah, I mean,
and then that's the perfect excuse to just quote Simpsons for like a collective 5 hours,
and to just turn it into a podcast where we go through every Simpsons episode.
Yeah,
of which several exist, right? Like,
yeah, that would make.
We could do that.
That's not a bad idea.
No, it would be really annoying because those our podcast being silly and discursive and whatever, that's fine. But like doing that with the Simpsons podcast where they go through every episode and they actually like tell you interesting things about them, that's good. Yes. Us just going through and quoting, just reading the script would be terrible.
But would bring us a lot of joy,
and really
we would have fun doing it. Yeah,
that's all it's about.
It's not about these people.
I don't give a shit who listens.
Yeah,
if you listen to this podcast, fuck you.
Though
I hate you. I hate each and every one of you. The only people who listen are my friends, and you're fake friends.
Yeah,
I hate all of you.
Though I will say, this warmed the cockles of my heart over the holiday season. I saw on Letterboxd that friend of the pod, eventually I'm sure a future guest, Chantel, she logged the Gremlins movies on Letterboxd, and I was like, someone is playing along, and I really appreciated that. I also noticed that she is a Gremlins 1 person, where she gave Gremlins 1 a higher rating than Gremlins 2.
Oh, well, okay, fair enough. So disinvited.
You have to, your beliefs have to align with our opinions.
Yes, specifically my opinions. Yes. No, so important. How was
Florida was fine.
Yeah.
It was a bit overcast, but who am I to complain? I was wearing a t-shirt I got to go for swims. I got to ride a bike.
You got to go for swims.
I was let out for
tethered swimming.
Yeah.
Speaking of Simpsons,
The most.
you better sign up sooner, else it's TS for you. That's great. Welcome to the Simpsons Quoting Podcast.
Yeah.
New year, new quotes.
Yeah, it was, I've been to Florida 3 times in my life now.
Do you have any paper towel?
No, I think we will have to.
All right. Yeah. All right. Sorry. I'll just get it. Fuck. I'll just get it.
We interrupt this episode of Florida Cast. Because Ben made a spill.
I just spilled a little bit of Tim Hortons coffee.
Ben had an accident.
Oh, there we go. It's fine. We'll leave all this in too.
Yeah.
People need to know that I'm clumsy.
Well, but I saw a gator, which was cool, and I sent you a photo of it.
Yes.
And you know what's so funny? You see a gator in Florida, you tell people about it, it instantly becomes like a fucking alligator like pissing contest where they're like, oh well, one time I saw like a 20-footer or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, oh, that's just like a baby. And I was like, what are you talking about? This is the biggest gator I've seen in the wild. It was just like a few feet away from me. I threw rocks at it.
Really?
No,
you shouldn't. Yeah.
But that was the highlight for sure, was seeing that fucking gator.
Now, I'm not going to one-up you and tell you that I went on a fan boat ride in a gator swamp and saw multiple gators, which would, inevitably be better than you're seeing one gator.
Yeah, but how close were you?
Very close.
Okay.
Like keep your hands in the boat. Like not even just like you have to be aware of where your hands are. Mm-hmm. That close. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
But no, I'm not trying to one-up you. I'm also not trying to one-up you by telling you. Did you ever hear the story of the guy? I think it was in Florida or somewhere where there were gators, and there was like there's like a gator. It was like at a bar. This guy was drunk, and like he goes out of the bar, and someone's like, "You can't go swimming in there. There's a gator in there." And he says, "Fuck that gator!" And he jumps in, and then the gator ate him. I was wrong. Turns out it was in Texas. Anyway, rest in peace. Very serious story.
I've been getting, I'm kind of happy because it kind of swung back to it because I got it for a while and then it stopped. But I've been getting served more predatory animal content again, which rocks. So gators eating animals out of the blue.
The death roll. Is that gators and crocodiles?
Probably both, yeah.
Yeah, let's say it's both.
And Komodo dragons too.
Yes.
Just snatching baby goats or bats and stuff. Yeah, it's twisted stuff.
There was one a while back that was like Komodo dragon like bites like some sort of horse. It wasn't a horse, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and then they eat them whole.
It just waits till it dies because it dies of the poison, and it was just like sped up, and the horse is just like twitching about, and the Komodo dragon completely still.
Yeah,
cool customer. Yeah.
They're kind of terrifying.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to Komodo Cast.
Yeah.
With a K.
Would you tell us a little bit about the Komodo dragon, Doctor?
Happy to. The Komodo dragon is the world's largest living lizard. It's a ferocious carnivora found on the steep-sloped island of Komodo in the lesser Sunda chain of the Indonesian archipelago and the nearby islands of Rinja, Padar, and Flores.
Where do they come from?
Think about all of these great podcasts we could just...
And here we are.
We are talking about movies like some fucking... Like everybody does. Yeah. I don't know. At least we're talking about something niche.
Yeah. How many Komodo dragon podcasts even are out there? Like
I don't know, 2?
Yeah, maybe just like a half dozen.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, generously a half dozen.
But yeah, how's your
It's
break?
good. I had it's 4 days to go to Collingwood, Ontario, where my family lives. Mm-hmm. Docks.
Yes.
Docks.
Give them the exact address.
No. It was nice. I was a little sick. I'm still maybe a little sick. Yeah. I don't know. Perpetually.
I've been fatigued and I'm like, am I sick or am I just...
worn down?
Yeah.
Could be. Alex and I both have the illness that Julianne Moore's character has, and the Todd Haynes is safe.
Oh, okay.
We're allergic to the
Safe.
environment. Yeah.
I was worried you were going to say May, December.
No, we don't have that.
You're hemophile.
No. We're just drastically allergic to our environments, to
Yeah.
the modern world itself.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
We got to go to like a retreat and wrap ourselves in duct tape. And
I know.
God.
Sometimes, whenever I show safe to somebody and that guy comes across the screen, I say to them, I wish that were me. and that's the first of several I wish that were me is coming in this episode.
Oh, undoubtedly.
Undoubtedly.
That's a great Halloween costume idea.
Yeah,
It's the
it
guy
is,
in Safe who walks in the background who's just
Safe.
like, hello.
Yeah. People would just think you're Slender Man.
Yeah, true. Or
He kind of looks like he's kind of giving Slender Man, as they say.
yeah,
I don't know.
it's probably played by Doug Jones,
Yeah, maybe.
famous Slender
I wonder.
Man.
It's a Todd Haynes cameo. He insisted.
Yeah,
His little like morph suit.
very Hitchcockian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Christmas was nice. Well, I actually have a Christmas gift for you from my family.
Oh, from your family. Wow.
Yeah, I know. You know, occasional listeners to the
Yes.
franchisees.
Oh, man.
So they got this exact thing for me, and now they got it for you.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's a bag. It's actually a couple things in it. So
my
just very
God.
quickly, take a look.
I feel bad because I got them nothing.
No. Okay,
Oh, sweet.
Bailey's.
A little bottle of Bailey's.
Oh, bottle of Bailey's.
That we could drink out of a shoe.
Yeah.
And then
Or we could drink it out of, some coffee. I know you don't really drink coffee.
Georgian Bay coffee, but I appreciate the
if
gesture.
If you don't want that, I could take it.
Yeah.
But look, what's this? What's this? It's a little mug for your Bailey's and coffee.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah,
that's
it's
so
great.
sweet of them.
Yeah,
That's
I
such
know,
a
right?
family
I
gift.
know.
Yeah.
That's great, eh?
It's a mug with our logo on it.
Yep.
The one with Joni Drip.
Yep.
And a bunch of movies we haven't watched.
Yep.
Except for the Hunger Games.
Bunch of canceled people. Sacha
The
Baron
most
Cohen.
problematic mug. Did he get canceled?
No, he's just like I don't know. It depends. He's just like a very like hardline like pro-Israel guy. Anyway, lots of great. So now we both have franchisees mugs.
That's
We can
perfect.
bring them to every recording, and instead of pausing to pee, we can pee in the mugs.
That's
and then
actually a great
forget that
utility.
there's pee in them and drink them.
Drink it and be like,
You ever done that? You ever forget there's pee in a mug and then drink it?
if I had a nickel.
You don't have to tell me.
Yeah.
That's a very personal question.
I don't, not yet, but it's almost surely inevitable now that I have this franchisee's mug.
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to confirm one way or the other. I'll just tell you it can happen.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. We should take photos of these and post them on the X.
on the X account. Yeah, pretty good. Hey, speaking of which, if you listen to the show, you can follow us on X at twitter.com/ what's it? Oh, the franchisees.
The franchisees. We nabbed
Yeah,
that.
the franchisees. That's
And-
right.
And share all our juicy content.
Yeah, I should post more. I'm sorry. I'm doing a bad job. But 2024,
Share
this
the
is our
pod.
year. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
going to be
it
a
is the
huge
pod.
year. It's going to be a huge year for the pod. We're going to go from, 50 listeners to 55. What do you think? Maybe even 60. I don't
That'd
know.
be huge.
Well,
55
like
regular
December
listeners.
was our biggest month for downloads.
Landmark year. Yeah.
Yeah, great end to the year.
Blockbuster year month.
Yeah. And line only goes up. Stocks only go up.
The numbers are trending in the right way.
Exactly. And so we thought, how do we kick the year off? Things were kind of up in the air. I was thinking, do we do like something small? Do we do something like throw out one of those Criterion box sets?
Yeah.
Get the brain working overtime trying to say something smart.
Yeah.
Well, no.
No.
Why would we do that when we could do something that we're both a lot more familiar with and also something that a lot of people have seen. So
I think people will be happy with this one.
I think so too. And that, of course, is Jurassic Park. Which one was that?
My thing, sound effects. Here's a T-Rex.
Here's a T-Rex. Now, if you're not Canadian,
No, you might not
you
know.
might
You
not
might
know what
catch
that is. But that kid was that was the kid back in the day. Yeah. I collect bugs. That was one of them, right? There was
Yeah, this is a bug guy, yeah.
I collect
It
bugs.
was a PSA about the importance of having a hobby. And
Everybody's got a thing.
what's your thing?
Yeah.
There's one kid whose thing was bugs.
Yeah, I like bugs. And it's funny that the one kid was like, I can do sound effects. Here's a T-Rex, and then it's like an actual T-Rex sound effect. It's not him doing it.
I thought it was. I don't know.
Was it?
I don't know.
Remember. We should watch that.
Yeah,
maybe we'll drop it in.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I recall correctly, the guy who likes bugs, they gave him like a dweeby, a dweeby guy voice.
It was
like,
Ryan Gosling.
He's like, I like bugs. No,
it wasn't.
No.
Yeah,
He
Ryan Gosling would never.
He was a staple on Canadian TV back in the day.
That's true. Yeah. There was a guy who liked karate.
Yeah.
And some loser who played the tuba.
Yeah, there was a tuba. Now, was the tuba guy a big boy?
I don't remember.
Because I feel like they're just racking up stereotypes. The bug guy, he's kind of weird bug voice like this.
Yeah.
The tuba guy is a big fat boy, I don't know.
The dinosaur kid is a Sigma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's your thing? Bugs. Everybody's got to have a thing.
My thing's sound effects. Here's a T-Rex.
Were you ever a dinosaur kid? Do you have a phase?
My mom tells a very funny, well, she thinks it's a hilarious story about when I was a kid. I used to have dinosaur toys, and I don't know if it was all the dinosaurs, but I certainly was like afraid to play with the T-Rex. I was like afraid of the T-Rex toy, and I would pick it up by its neck and like hold it out away from my body and like put it by the door to like watch the door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is pretty fun.
So I think I was interested in dinosaurs, but apparently I feared them too.
Do you think you feared the T-Rex based on this movie?
So
what is your history with Jurassic Park? Because I have a long and involved history.
I distinctly remember having the VHS of both this and Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World.
Yeah.
It's
a weird title because the title is The Lost World: Jurassic Park
2.
No,
just Jurassic Park. Yeah, right. Okay,
Spielberg.
Yeah. And to add to it, it had one of those gimmicky holographic VHS covers.
I remember.
Where depending on how, or like lenticular or whatever, and depending on how you tilted it, it was like the logo, groovy.
Groovy.
The
with
T-Rex.
the Raptors, right?
Was it Raptors or
was it T-Rex and the Raptors were the lenticular thing, right?
It was the logo, but like cast in stone, and then you turned it one way, and it was like a dinosaur bursting out of the logo, like coming at you.
Very scary. Yeah.
Honestly, not suitable for children or work.
Well, that not to get ahead of ourselves already, that the sequel is kind of fucked up.
I haven't watched it in a super long time.
Excuse me neither. The VHS tape was, I believe, gifted to me and my family by my step-grandma Hazel. Shout out Hazy if she's listening. I don't think so. But, she is, but it was deemed inappropriate because I was too young and impressible. Like, I mean, it would have been when it came out. So I would have been like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Right? I guess if
3.
the movie came out when we were 3-ish.
By the time it got to VHS, maybe you were 4.
5, I don't know. But eventually, I did watch it, and it became like my favorite movie of all time, and I watched it endlessly. Like the 2 VHS tapes that we watched constantly, like even before we had moved to Saskatoon when I was like 10, so like pre-10, like childhood, age, was Jurassic Park and Forrest Gump. Which one do you think did more damage to a young mind? Now, we're going to get to Forrest Gump one of these days. We're going to do a whole side podcast devoted to Forrest Gump. Eventually, we will do that. So I will talk about it then. But yeah, at some point, I became obsessed with this movie. I wanted to be a paleontologist for a while. I would tell people about it. I had lots of dinosaur toys. I did dinosaur presentations at school. I had dinosaur hoodie.
Yeah, your thing was dinosaurs.
Yeah, for a while. I read the book when I was a kid.
Michael
as well.
Crichton.
I read the Michael Crichton book, which is like, not a book for kids.
Right.
Not just that it is much more violent and graphic than the movie is. But it's filled with like stuff about like genetic code, chaos theory, computer programming and coding that I was like, to this day, I'm sure if I read it now, I would be like, oh yes, I'm aware of these things.
Yeah.
I don't understand them intellectually. I'm not, Michael Crichton is not some genius or whatever. I'm not trying to say that, but like it was a heavy book for a kid to read. But sure. I got through it. Because I had seen the movie and I could fill things in a little bit.
Yeah.
This was like, and I was trying to think, is this the movie? Letterboxd, I started logging in like 2014. Everything before that, I don't have as good of an idea. But Jurassic Park, like, is this the movie I've seen the most in my life? Just because of all those repeated watchings when I was a kid. Mm. And I mean, maybe it's got to be up there, right?
Yeah.
Forrest Gump, maybe, I don't know. But the last time, I'm pretty sure this was the last time I saw it until yesterday, because I hadn't logged it since I started doing Letterboxd, which is very surprising. I could have sworn I watched it a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. They re-released it in theaters in 2013 when they were re-releasing everything in 3D.
Right.
Like post-converted 3D.
Yeah.
And I remember, I guess I was in Saskatoon. Maybe it must have been in the summer then. And I saw it with a bunch of friends. And it was great. Even like just to see it in theaters and like yell
Never
all
done
the lines.
that.
Yeah, it was really fun. And my friends and I actually in high school, we had our like little filmmaking collective, called Sunken State.
Yes.
And one of our masterworks is the film Cretaceous Park, which is in Jurassic Park. And I would hesitate to use the word parody because it is literally us. We went to the Science Center and to the dinosaur wing and stood in front of dinosaur bones and reenacted almost line for line Jurassic Park.
The whole movie?
Like a lot, like all the hits, I got all these lines written down. Maybe if I find it, we'll drop it in. If you can find Cretaceous Park on YouTube, you should watch it. It's I wouldn't say it's good, but if you like Jurassic Park and you want to see a bunch of Central Canadian
kids regurgitate the lines at a science center.
Yeah.
That's pretty cute.
Yeah, it was pretty cute. There's some, it's worth a watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping you were going to say like it's Cretaceous Park and it's everyone running away from those weird like horseshoe crabs that were like fossilized and stuff. Just like weird little
like
sea creatures. Yeah. Good doggy.
I'm pretty sure that was the last time I saw it. Yeah. Have you ever seen Westworld? Like the original Westworld?
No. I'd be curious to.
Yeah. Have you seen it? You ever watched the show?
No.
No, me neither. Yeah.
No real interest in the show. Would be interested in seeing the movie.
Yeah, you should, because Michael Crichton wrote and directed that. I don't think it's based on a book of his. I think he just wrote it for the screen.
Yul Brynner.
Cool. And that was in 1973. So that's the original,
right.
What if we went to a bee amusement park?
Right, yeah.
It's this fucking Simpsons poster right here, man. I watched that a while ago with my family because I think my brother had was like into Westworld, and it's a pretty good movie.
Cool.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, it's like also it's just the Itchy and Scratchy Land episode, right?
Yeah.
But it really, it feels very like foundational for Jurassic Park, basically, except genetics instead of robotics.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can't, mention The Simpsons and Jurassic Park in the same breath without bringing up the immortal moment where Principal Skinner goes, "I finally have time to write the great American novel. Mine's about a futuristic amusement park where dinosaurs are brought back to life using advanced cloning techniques. I call it Billy and the Cloneasaurus." That's one of my all-time favorite gags in anything. Because
5 weeks of the bestseller list. Yeah.
What were you thinking?
What were you thinking?
Like, it's so out of left field. Like how he comes up with the worst name.
I know, it's really funny. I'm pretty sure friend of the pod, future guest Chris, had a Billy and the Cloneasaurus shirt at some point.
One.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I got gifted one.
Yeah. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to wear.
Yeah. Former guest of the pod, Sam, also has one.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. Very nice.
Anyway, now we can move on.
I don't even know. Okay, because the Jurassic Park series.
Yes.
When you suggested, why don't we do Jurassic Park? There's only 6.
We're kind of going off script.
Yeah.
Like the schedule got fucked up.
Things are fucked.
We're doing whatever we want.
It's going to be great. This whole year we'll do whatever we want.
We're just going to redo the Jeepers Creepers franchise.
Without a single
And
mention.
again, you know how like Kanye and Jay-Z went on concert and they would like perform like N-words in Paris like 20 times back to back as an almost endurance test?
Yes.
We're going to do that with the Jeepers Creepers franchise.
Yes, it's provocative.
Yeah.
It gets people going.
Yeah.
I mean, it is provocative, not for the reasons it wants to be, because it's directed by a convicted pedophile.
Not for a Justin Long themed
Speaking
horror.
Speaking of,
Speaking
sorry, what did you say?
Were you going to say speaking of
What's
convicted?
this, Alex?
Holy shit.
What's this?
Whoa, okay, I wasn't expecting that.
You just mentioned Justin Long, didn't you? And horror, didn't you?
I did. I thought you were going to talk about pedophilia.
There's a guy. Well, Dodgson. We'll get there.
Ben just pulled out lightning quick.
Yeah.
A Blu-ray copy that he purchased for $14.99.
Okay, I should have taken the sticker off because that's way too much money to pay for something like this. Okay, I want to say to the listeners, I am not buying any more physical media. This is the last day.
This is the last one.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's so funny.
And this is an investment for the show. Tusk, the Kevin Smith film.
The hilarious.
Almost unwatchable.
Man is the most dangerous animal.
Have you seen this?
Oh my God.
You've seen this?
No, I've never seen it.
This is a DVD copy of Vulgar, the original Joker. This is directed by Brian Johnson, starring Brian O'Halloran.
You told me not to watch it.
We're going to watch it together. We're going to watch this together.
This is great. Is this the year we just deep dive into K. Smith?
At some point, we'll do it.
Tusk.
I could have sworn I owned Vulgar. It's possible that I was like, I don't need this bullshit, and I sold it to BMV, and now I bought it back myself.
I think the ugliest thing about Tusk is the depiction of podcasting in it, how Justin Long is the host of the Not See Party, where he goes on adventures and describes things that Haley Joel Osment doesn't see because he doesn't go out, because he has the safe virus as well.
Right.
And I think any kind of case of like media within media, like a movie within a movie, or in this case, a podcast within a movie, it's like the worst, most cringe thing you'd ever seen. And you're watching, and you're like, no way this would ever be a popular podcast like ours.
Like ours, yeah. When we make the franchisee's story, and we depict the actual podcast within the film, people will say, well, surely it wasn't really like that.
Yeah.
They made a movie about it.
Wait, why'd you buy those?
Oh, I just thought it'd be funny to show you.
Okay.
I really genuinely was like, I'm not going to buy Tusk. And then I was like, I have to do it for the show. That's my investment into the show.
Worth it.
Yeah, totally worth it.
Worth it.
Yeah, what were we talking about? Jurassic Park?
Yeah, but famous franchisee tangent. Have a question for you.
Oh, okay.
What's been the first? Have you watched a movie yet this year? What's been the first movie you watched of 2024?
Oh yeah, well I had something of a lost weekend, so to speak.
I caught up on a lot of things that I wanted to see before year's end, but I don't want to talk to them until our special end of the year episode, because we might be talking about some of those movies I saw on that.
Well, I did want to do a double feature of Ferrari and Zone of Interest.
Okay.
But I was not I had tickets, but I couldn't go.
Okay.
I was just.
Did you see either of them?
No,
any of them?
No. But I will see them like this week.
Yeah.
Soon.
We'd love to know. I saw Zone of Interest. That was one of the ones I saw before.
Yeah, I'm very curious, and we will definitely be talking about it at the end of the year episode.
Yeah,
whenever that
sure.
is. Yeah.
Yes.
The first movie I watched in 2023 on January 2nd.
Yes.
Because this is the year I'm going to finish Clint Eastwood's filmography.
Yeah, okay.
Jersey Boys.
Did he direct that?
Begging you. They don't have that part is in the that song's in the musical, but it's not in the movie.
That's bullshit.
It's actually pretty good.
Oh, okay.
This is the problem with Clint, right? It's
problem with Clint.
Well, this is the problem. I'm like, fuck, it's good. It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to see I don't give a shit about the Jersey Boys, like, jukebox musical.
But he makes you give a shit about him.
Yeah, it's a dark movie. I have not seen that musical. I cannot imagine there's that much swearing in it. It's very, like, it's Sopranos adjacent. Like, it's about New Jersey and about, hey, fuck you. You sing fucking like a fucking angel over here.
True, interesting.
You know, yeah. And he does.
You're
My
super
God,
Clint pilled though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, hard. Yeah. It's been like years now.
Yeah.
I was trying to think. Someone was like, "Oh, you got into Clint over the past year." It's like, no.
Well, yeah, I've been on Clint.
It's been like 4 or 5 years almost. Coming up 4 years since I watched Bridges of Madison County. If you aren't Clint pilled, that would be a good place to start. Inevitable Clint pilling. Yeah, I just think he's one of the best American directors, and it's crazy that he's still alive and that he's still working, and that he has another movie coming out probably this year, probably by the end of the year. Like, I just, I don't know.
When you were dipping your toes into the world of Primus, did you ever hear the song Lee Van Cleef?
No.
Oh, that's pretty good. The chorus is all about how all the whippersnappers want to be like Clint, but I really dug Lee Van Cleef.
All the other snaps want to be like Clint. They all want to be like Clint. But I want to be like Lee Van Cleef. You know I want to be like Lee.
Okay, well, I'm certainly never going to listen to that.
Primus sucks.
Yeah, I watched Anaconda. I've never seen that.
Cool.
Great movie to be on Tubi. I watched Albert Brooks's Mother. It's one of the Albert Brooks movies I hadn't seen. It's really good.
Cool.
Yeah, really good. I feel like I have to show it to my parents so that they can. It's a lot of the things maybe they're dealing with my grandma. It's like strained relationship with with your as an adult with your adult parent.
Of course, yes.
And then during the Lost Weekend, I watched Martin Scorsese's George Harrison documentary. That's like very long. It's probably like 3 hours or something. But, for me, without getting too much into it, I think it felt like maybe 10 hours watching the movie.
Oh, okay.
Without getting into it any further. And it was a real trip, let's say. And I am still tired from watching the movie.
Yeah.
It took very long to watch. It felt like days. And honestly, like, I'm not a big, I don't know. No, I just really liked it.
Cool.
Yeah, it turns out he was a cool guy.
George Harrison.
Yeah, cool guy.
Right on.
Yeah. It'd be funny if the documentary was like, look at this asshole. This is the least talented Beatle.
He was such a prick.
Yeah.
Well, he did steal Ringo Starr's wife at one point, didn't he? Or something like that?
Eric Clapton and him kind of swapped wives. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. If I had to complain,
I hate Eric Clapton.
Okay, so do I. So the thing, there were several things that really harshed my mellow, so to speak.
Yeah.
During this very long experience. One of them is that Eric Clapton is a talking head, and he comes up a lot.
They were close.
Yeah.
Obviously, they swapped wives.
Yeah. And I don't like seeing him or hearing him talk.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of Eric Clapton. But it was not disturbing. Seeing him, it's just like, ugh, here he is again.
Eric Clapton.
The thing that was disturbing is this movie was made in that sweet spot before Phil Spector went to jail.
So do they have Phil Spector
but
interviews?
After he started wearing wigs.
So they have deranged Phil Spector.
There's a chunk of Phil Spector.
Oh, fuck.
There's like quite a bit of Phil Spector, and it's like very scary.
Okay,
and like
cool.
when he first popped up, yeah, let's just say, when you're enjoying a trippy movie,
it's like a jump scare.
Well, it's not just
like Five Nights at Freddy's.
No, I have to push back. It's not a jump scare, because a jump scare is something you go and then you get over it. When you know what I mean? When let's say you're in a suggestible state, and let's say you can get into thought loops and thought patterns that are unwelcome. When you keep having every 5 fucking minutes, it's like
Phil Spector.
and he talking like this, and he's like, wow, we had to double up his voice.
Instead of a wall of sound, it's a wall of Phil Spector.
Oh, it was. I was actually like, I have to turn this off. I was like, I cannot, and I was like lying in my bed, like with my laptop, and And I was just like, just shut it off.
Yeah,
that
should be like an
I didn't.
MPAA rating, like sustained levels of Phil Spector can cause emotional distress.
Yeah, he's just
An unpleasant being.
Yeah, he's a scary guy.
He's a dark force.
Yeah.
He emanates darkness.
Yeah, no good. Good. And caught up on The Curse as well.
Okay,
so
cool.
Only 2 episodes left.
Interesting, from a man who purportedly hates television. Seem to
but
love a lot of
but
television.
The Curse is a movie. See, anything that I like and watch is a movie. Twin Peaks: The Return.
It's a movie.
Twin Peaks season 1 and 2.
The Wire.
The Wire. Yeah, Breaking Bad. See, I've seen all those. Those are big ones.
They're movies.
Law and Order Scarborough, whatever it's called.
I watched just last night a long Martin Scorsese movie. I was able to catch it in theaters, thankfully. I saw Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh, great.
At the Kingsway. Have you ever been to the Kingsway?
Really? Yeah, the Kingsway is a fucking trip, speaking of trips.
That place is stuck in the 90s.
It's beautiful theater.
In a charming way, yeah.
But the guy who runs it is like a nut.
Oh, is he?
Oh yeah, he's like a right-wing nut.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They're still showing The Sound of Freedom there.
The old German?
No. The like QAnon, like they're stealing our kids movie.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But every Friday, and I used to go to some of the Fear is Free Fridays. He used to do double bills of horror movies.
Oh, cool.
At the Kingsway, and it was free. And the idea was like, okay, maybe you buy a beer or something, right?
Yeah.
He stopped doing that, and now he does like 35 millimeter Fridays, and you have to pay and stuff. But I'm working every Friday. I can't go to these. It sucks. But one of these days we should go because it's truly like a grindhouse. Like he just will, Did he not play the George Orwell clip before the movie that he always plays?
We got there. I went with other friend of the pod, Ben.
Nice.
Other Ben.
Yeah.
And we grabbed a bite to eat beforehand. So by the time we got there, it was already showing trailers or whatever before the movie. And I went downstairs to get a soda pop because it's a long movie and it was a late showing, so I had to stay up.
Yeah.
And we were also in the small screening room, which is quite literally a room.
The small one is very,
yes.
It's very weird, yeah.
Yeah, and then there were these 2 old ladies sitting in front of us who, God bless them because they were very old, but they wouldn't shut up. It was very annoying. But
so you saw Killers of the Flower Moon at the Kingsway in the small, in the screening room?
Just last night.
That's crazy.
And I don't want to talk about it because we'll definitely be talking about it during our year-end episode.
Yes.
Of the worst movies of the year.
You liked it.
We won't get into it,
We'll
but
talk about it.
I loved it.
Yeah, it's great. It's really good. Yeah. Okay, we will go to the Kingsway on a Friday night sometime. The one of the times I went and they were doing the horror things, he had clearly I'm pretty sure it was like a digital rip of some kind because at some point the movie, the picture and the sound desynced, right? And they just he had left for the night, so it was only the one other young woman who works there and works the concession,
right?
And she people kept going back to be like, can you change it? Can you stop it? She's like, I don't know what to do. So they just let it play.
Wow, what movie was it?
It was a 80s horror movie, Fade to Black, which is a good movie. Okay. And I enjoyed watching it. But it also kind of felt my brain, I had a huge headache at the end because it was really difficult to Yeah. Anyway, whatever.
The movie that we won't be talking about during our year-end list that I saw over the past little while, my first movie of 2024, was Bottoms, which I believe was named because that's the part of the barrel they scraped.
Hey!
No, but I was watching it for a long stretch of time. I was like, oh no, this isn't funny. I'm not having a great time.
It's not as funny as it should be.
But then the ending does pick up. I did like the finale.
I think it there's some laughs. I don't think it's terrible. I know some people really don't like it.
No, I
don't think
don't.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
And I laughed. I think, it's funny.
Yeah. Marshawn Lynch was quite funny.
Yeah, he's very surprisingly. He's not really in anything else.
I haven't seen him in anything else.
Yeah, he was funny.
I mean, other than the Gridiron.
Right. Yeah. Likely movie for him to be in.
Oh, I don't know. I don't mean the movie. I mean the actual, like the gridiron.
Oh, isn't
the
there a movie?
football
Oh no, that's
field,
Gridiron Gang. That's
which I've never seen.
Neither have I. But that's a Dwayne the Rock Johnson movie?
Is it Dwayne the Rock Johnson?
I feel like he's in there.
I love that you kind of have to say Dwayne the Rock Johnson. You know, Dwayne Johnson just doesn't cut it.
No, now he's going back to Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Good.
Because he's going with A24. He's going to make a serious movie. Did you see that? He's like, I'm tired of making these like expensive movies that everybody hates. I'm going to make like a serious movie with A24.
Okay, Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
I can't wait.
He should have been in the Iron Claw.
Do you see that?
I haven't. I want to.
I did see that.
I like Zac
holidays.
Efron.
He's really good in it.
Great.
I think that, we'll talk about that at the end of the year.
Sure,
Yeah. But it's solid.
Just really quick about Bottoms.
Yeah.
What I appreciated the kind of absurd tone that they went for. You know, all the football players are constantly wearing their football jerseys and stuff. Like it's going for like it feels kind of cartoonish. You know, like a bit of that Gremlins 2 energy. But then the human drama is still like played really like rooted in reality, and it's like, oh, you lied to me or something. And I was like, I don't know. I feel if the whole tone of your movie is kind of absurd and all this stuff, let the human drama kind of be absurd too. You know, like maybe they get into a fight because they, you know, accidentally kill someone. You know, or
I thought too, like if it's gonna be absurd like that, then I think the like styling of the movie needs to be a little tighter, right?
Right.
Like I think there's all these opportunities with all these like sight gags and things going on in the movie that are that kind of like, because everything's just shot the same, and I don't know. There's no like emphasis or like framing really, unfortunately.
I'd heard it was really funny, and I had high hopes, and I was disappointed a bit. Unfortunately, that was the start of my movie going year.
Good. Well, I don't know. I think it's possible the first movie I'm gonna get to see in the theater, because I really flubbed it yesterday and didn't see those two Ferrari and Zone of Interest double feature. First we go fast and then we slow down.
Yeah.
We go real slow.
Very slow indeed.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, slow down, Mr. Ferrari. Yes, you drive too fast, Mr. Ferrari. It's not funny after you've seen the movie, I'm sure.
No.
And neither is the joke, hey, Jonathan Glazer, I got a Zone of Interest for you right here.
Hey.
Yeah, see, I'm not going to be able to say that.
No.
Yeah. Glazer, I hardly know her. Hey.
You
know, see what I mean?
Sandra Hüller was very good in it.
Yeah. It's a devastating film. Yeah, no, I know it is. I'm excited. I'm not excited. You know what I mean? This is why like who is it? Is it A24 releasing it, or is it one of those other?
Yes, A24
I feel
Elevation.
like they are very like hesitant to like properly market it, because it's like
I haven't seen much. It is.
Yeah, I know it's like a Holocaust movie, but
but it's also very much like an artsy experimental movie.
Yeah. Glazer, I hardly know her. I know who he is.
Yeah, that's kind of his bag now.
Yeah.
Which is a shame in the sense that he's never going to make a Sexy Beast again.
He might.
Which is a great movie.
He might make Sexy Beast 2. Why not? Zone of Interest, blank check, cash and check,
Sexy Beast 2. I would love that. But, you know, in the same way that Under the Skin was quite experimental and...
Under the Skin 2, yeah.
Let's
go right under. Let's get Sydney Sweeney in Under the Skin 2.
Oh, true. I guess you could replace that, because she dies at the end.
I've got a new skin. I don't know. That's not how she sounded.
Is she Cockney?
No.
Okay.
Sydney, in real life? No. She's American. She sounds like...
Sydney Sweeney Todd.
Hey, this is huge. These are kind of golden riffs that you can't...
Oh, cut your hair, Governor!
Good. Yeah. Yeah. No, let's keep working on
anyone but you.
Let's keep working on Sydney Sweeney. Let's look on Twitter and see if anyone's tweeted Sydney Sweeney Todd. If they haven't, we're gonna make $1 million.
Clippy.
No, I think the first movie I'm gonna see in theaters in 2024 is a Ferrari.
Oh, molto bene.
Yes, I go so fast.
Boof, barada boof.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be a lot different than the Boof movie. We'll
No,
see.
Exactly. House of Boofy.
I mean, his accent is the same. Adam
Yeah.
Driver's accent.
He's
is
playing the same character he did
He's
in
playing
House
the
of
same
Gucci.
guy, yeah. I'm a Gucci, you're a Gucci, I'm a Ferrari, I go fast. It's the same. It's the same thing.
No, you must slow down, Enzo Ferrari.
Yeah. This is not the Autobahn, Enzo. Tisk. Papers, please.
Specifically the driver's license.
I think, yeah, I would like to be in a war movie where I get to ask someone for papers. I don't want to play a Nazi. I don't want to play a bad guy.
Papers were exchanged in many wars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Papers, please. But I would do it in the accent. See, this is the problem, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, you can't just... Anyway, whatever.
Dinos.
Dino DNA.
So dinosaurs were actually like not very popular before Jurassic Park.
Is that true?
Yeah, like nobody really talked about them.
That's true. Yeah, that must be true.
Jurassic Park shed a lot of light on dinosaurs.
That is true. That is true.
Boosted their after Jurassic Park, Turok,
of course. Disney's Dinosaur. Yeah, you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And also the sitcom Dinosaurs with the dinosaur family.
Yeah, I believe that's post Jurassic. No, when do you think dinosaurs started? Have a guess.
95.
Don't look it up.
I'm going to say 95.
Because it's post Simpsons.
Yeah, because it is the Simpsons.
Because it is the Simpsons.
Yeah.
Ooh, 1991.
Oh.
Dinosaurs
wow.
is in fact what made dinosaurs
Inspired
popular again. Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg watched.
Exactly. There's all these stories of him saying, you know, I wanted to do this. I wasn't sure what technology we'd be using. You know, there's all these behind the scenes thing. But then eventually when he saw the first episode of Dinosaurs, he was like,
I've got it.
It's ready.
He had like writer's block. He didn't know what to do, what his next motion picture was going to be.
Yeah. He said, I'm going to make a dinosaur that is like Peter Griffin and we'll make one that's like Stewie. And this again is him thinking way ahead because this is way before Family Guy too. And he's like, we'll get a Lois dinosaur, you know, maybe she'll be a bit like Marge. Yeah. He's thinking on all different levels.
Be a baby dinosaur.
Like Stewie or like Maggie. I'm the baby, gotta love me.
So when I was in Florida, there were children around, and they loved
just loose,
like free range.
The Florida
children.
Project,
yeah. And they love Fortnite at the moment, right?
Yeah, of course.
And then they played a round of Fortnite, and they were freaking out because they'd killed a Peter Griffin.
Yes,
who was like,
I heard about
I don't
that.
know if this was like another, because I know Fortnite is you're up against other people, but the way they were talking about this Peter Griffin was as if like the Peter Griffin was like a boss or something. And when they defeated the Peter Griffin, they got like a special like golden epic weapon or something like that, like a golden shotgun. And I was like, what the fuck is Fortnite that you're like killing Peter Griffin for a golden gun?
Yeah, I saw an ad, I think, on Twitter that was like, Peter Griffin's now in Fortnite. And, you know, like so many things these days, you know, I see it registers in my mind.
Yeah.
And then I hear a little voice in my mind say, okay, moving on. And you try not to think about it too much.
Yeah.
Because if you focus on it, it's like seeing Phil Spector in the documentary. You're like,
yeah.
I don't want to have these bad thoughts in my mind.
It'll keep you up at night.
Yeah.
I know I spent many a night thinking about Fortnite Peter Griffin.
Killing
Fortnite Peter
in
Griffin.
Cold blood. Yeah. All right. We should let's go. This one we could maybe go through from the beginning to the end, just a little bit.
Sure.
Because there's so many funny lines that we have to say, which is really what the show is about.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Like I was telling you before the show, you know, I don't know what new critical insights I could possibly like give.
Oh, who cares?
Into Jurassic Park. It's one of the most famous movies of all time. It's like when you think about movies, you know, movie magic. Jurassic Park is one of the big ones. You know, there's still theme park attractions. They're obviously still making movies. It's deeply ingrained in the culture.
Yes.
There's memes. One of my favorite memes is the like shitty flute version of the theme, you know, when you want to cut to something that's really not spectacular.
Sure. Yes.
We live in Jurassic Park, man. Like
we live in Jurassic World, unfortunately. And this is what I wanted to say. Maybe I'll very quickly say that. When you suggest this, I was like, that's great. Jurassic Park, Lost World, Jurassic Park, even Jurassic Park 3. I haven't seen those in a long time, and I'm excited to watch those two movies.
I haven't seen them in a long time either. I remember having good feelings about Jurassic Park 3.
I really liked it when I was a kid. That's the one I actually saw in the theater, and I was like,
Hell
terrified.
yeah.
I was terrified. It was
It's the
packed,
scariest for sure.
and I think for one reason or another, I couldn't sit with my mom and my brother because it was like just packed, and so I was like, I don't know, I felt unmoored, you know, and I don't know. I think that would have been in Collingwood in a theater that doesn't show movies anymore. It's too bad.
What does it show?
I believe it's just open for like a live performance and like panto plays.
Probably like jazz or something.
Some bullshit. Yeah, puppetry of the penis. It's another Canadian reference for you.
To what?
Oh, well, we'll talk about that off mic.
Okay.
That's a long story. I mean, we don't have that much time. The new movies, the Jurassic World trilogy, I think are, with the exception of maybe the first one, which I'm sure is going to be fine, right? It's a really bad trilogy, like disastrously bad. And the last one in particular, which only came out in 2022,
I haven't seen it.
is god awful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really bad. Like, it's everything that's wrong with franchise filmmaking,
Oh,
I think,
so
in
excited.
the modern era. So I ask, if possible, we could watch that one together.
I would love
because
to.
the thought of sitting down alone to watch a movie, I
No.
swore I would never watch again in my life,
Yeah.
kind of fills me with dread.
I think I'd rather watch all the Jurassic Worlds together if possible, just to, because I only saw the first one in theaters, and I think even then I wasn't as forgiving towards it as maybe other people were.
I think I was more forgiving than I should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jurassic World 2, we'll get to when we
Woof.
get to it. Yeah.
Woof. Jurassic World Dominion, just Jurassic World Dominion
Jurassic World Dominion.
is also 2.5 hours long.
Oh,
That
hell
is,
yeah.
I know, because it has to be,
Yeah, of
because they
course.
have to fit all this junk in. It's a disgusting movie.
That's part of the reason, like, I think Jurassic Park 3 is kind of underrated because they're
90
like,
minutes.
Oh, yeah,
90
people are like,
minutes.
oh, it's the worst one or whatever. But I'm like, in some
Maybe
ways
of
it
the
is.
original three,
yeah, in
but
some ways it is, but
whatever.
it doesn't like overstay its welcome. Like it's quite a
No.
rip roaring adventure.
No, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Joe Johnson,
God.
Dodgson. We got Dodgson. We're gonna get to Dodgson. The opening of the film, right? When they are loading the, because the opening of the book is the opening used in the second film,
Oh, okay.
where
Which
the
scared
little,
the shit
the
out of
little
me.
tiny dinosaurs eat the girl.
Yes.
Yeah. That scared the shit out of me too.
Yeah, I remember like going to the bathroom to avoid watching what happens, and then coming back to the living room, and my friend who's slightly older than me giving me shit for it. He was like, "You were afraid," and I was like, "No,
Yeah.
I wasn't. I had to pee." But really, I just went to the bathroom and washed my hands.
Yeah, that's like when I would go to the bathroom during sex scenes, and I'd be like, not to masturbate, but to be like, I'm uncomfortable.
Sure.
No. Like
No,
with
I know,
my
yeah.
parents like watching Titanic. I'd be like, I have to go over here. I have to go over here now. You know, I run into the dog
can't
gate,
watch
knock it
that.
over, like fuck. So yeah, this is a great. I love this opening. I think it is. What I thought at this time, if we want to get CinemaSins about it, I was like, don't they have a machine that could do that? You know what I mean?
There's a lot of moments like
I
that in this
know,
movie.
I know.
Rewatching it now, and we're not going to get CinemaSins, but it's like,
No, but it's funny.
yeah, and you know, like the whole idea of like automating everything, so you know they have to close the doors through a computer. It's like sometimes practical locks are just
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess maybe the most efficient way to get the vicious velociraptor into the paddock or whatever is some guy standing up on a roof, like pulling the lock open, like the gate open.
Yeah.
It just seems like there's a better way.
But Sam, former friend of the pod, the pod, former guest, future guest Sam, so I feel like everyone has like really distinct memories of this movie.
Yeah.
Mine was like the kid with his night vision goggles. For some reason that always like really, I
Little
was like,
Timmy.
I want those. But Sam had distinct memories of the guy going, "Shoot her! Shoot her!" And he does a good impression of it.
Oh yeah,
But,
that's my favorite. So of the first of many lines I've written down, shoot her is good. But there are a couple things I noticed for the first time, like as an adult maybe, during this movie, that before he says shoot her, there's another line where he says work her back.
Underrated. You're right.
I know.
Work her back is good.
Yeah, my neck, my back, and so on.
Work her
Work
back.
her back. Shoot her. And yeah, I mean, it's just so simple, right? They're like close up on his mouth, shoot her,
Yeah.
and then you see the arm
guy's-
slipping through,
yeah.
right? No blood, no gore, just scary sound effects. The guy getting like ripped up, like up the side of the thing, right?
Yes,
The,
yes,
the
yes,
sheer
yes.
power of the lad,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Of course, in real life, velociraptors so small.
And feathered.
And feathered, that's right. This movie proposes a controversial theory that we're not going to give any space to. That dinosaurs and birds are somehow related.
Yeah, bullshit.
Hokum.
Hollow bones.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, hollow earth.
Hollow Earth, that's what I'm talking about. That's where Godzilla and King Kong live.
I also
in
saw
those new
Godzilla
movies.
-1.
Oh, did you like it?
I did.
It's really good.
We'll talk about
Yeah,
it on the year
it's
end.
really
Yeah,
good.
it was great.
Work her back, shoot her, pussy in the crack. Okay, and then we go to the dig site, right?
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah, go ahead.
Something I like about these movies as an adult
Yeah.
is it does have a bit of a, fuck them kids attitude too, similar
Sure.
to the original Willy Wonka. And
Sure.
that kind of begins with Alan Grant kind
Yeah.
of giving this snot-nosed kid grief.
Whose kid is that?
I don't know. He's just some kid.
He's just
They
some
all kind of
kid,
turn,
right?
right? He's like kind of
He's
away
just-
from the
yeah,
like,
he's
group.
by himself.
He's like wandered onto this dig site.
Presumably everybody else there is working at the dig site or is like a college student or something.
Yeah.
He's like somebody's kid, I guess.
Yeah, and he's just like, sounds like a giant turkey
Yeah,
to
it's
me.
like a kid. He deserves everything he gets.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is being harassed by Sam Neill.
Yeah, and physically too.
Yeah.
Like when he takes the claw and he's like, he cuts you here.
Yeah,
And here.
and he actually
here.
cuts the kid. He's
Oh
like,
yeah.
just
Oh no,
gives him a nick.
he puts hands on the kid. he terrifies the kid, and he touches the kid. He's like with the claw. He's assaulting this kid.
I also love that Sam Neill's character loves dinosaurs so much that he will assault a child
he's
for
angry.
their honor.
Yeah.
He's personally
Show some respect.
Totally.
Yeah.
That was a fun aspect to watch as an adult who kind of dislikes children.
Oh yeah, and that is one of the one of several kind of funny sound effects in the movie too. When he's saying that they attack from the side, and then when they cut to the shot of him bringing his fingers in, like whoosh. I touched the mic. I'm pretty sure it's a sound that he's making, like whoosh. But they emphasize it.
Right.
Similarly, when Dennis Nedry slips down the waterfall and it goes whoop.
I noticed that. I'm so glad you brought it up because I was
it's
like,
super funny.
It's slapstick. It's Looney Tunes.
Yeah. It's like a slide whistle. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
No. Whoosh.
Yeah.
And he cuts you here, and he cuts you across the belly, and it spills out your innards. It's like it's so fucked.
I wish he just fucking cut that kid.
He could have.
Yeah.
He could have gotten away with it too.
He should have. Yeah. They're
Because
all the way
could-
out in the middle of nowhere.
There's so many holes in there. They've dug so. Just you take a dinosaur bone, you put the fat little kid in there.
Yeah. Oh, look at the dinosaurs ate spoiled brats.
Yeah, one for one. 6-inch retractable claw.
Oh my
It's
god.
important to remember that.
I got a 6-inch retractable claw for you.
Baby.
Hey.
I got a zone of interest for you. This is so distasteful. You pointed your crotch, by the way, when you say that. I've got a zone of interest for you right here.
Hey.
That just to be clear, I know it's a podcast. Just to be clear, about the joke.
I liked your other zone of interest joke, the zone of Pinterest.
Oh yeah, super funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really funny.
And here I've got a
Low-hanging
photo
fruit.
of the Berghain. Just Germans assembling a Pinterest board.
Yeah, I'm working on my mood board.
I'm really into Bauhaus. I've got a lot of Bauhaus inspiration.
What do you think of this color palette? Okay, enough of that. So John Hammond,
Yes.
a grandfatherly figure in this film, who's a bit of a harder edge in the book. He's a little bit more of a craven capitalist, I think, and he's in this movie, in the casting Richard Attenborough, they give him that. They give him a kind of avuncular feeling and that sense of wonder, and like he's like, they don't make him into like some douchey tech bro guy.
No.
Like they do in some of the other movies.
He's a granduncle.
Yeah, you can see the folly of his ways as he does eventually, but you can forgive him for it when you really shouldn't. Like he's like made some serious, like ethical and morally disastrous choices.
Totally.
But something that's funny is as my dad has grown older, and my dad also read Jurassic Park, I believe, probably at the same cottage that I read it at. He's grown up, like when he retired and grew a beard, it's like a white beard now, and he wears like Panama hats.
Oh, nice.
He looks exactly like
That's
John
really
Hammond.
cute.
Each year, he looks more and more like Richard Attenborough as John Hammond.
That's really cute.
So it was weird seeing him in this movie, just being like, "Oh, that's my dad."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very like fatherly, uncly figure.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's nice that he doesn't suffer the fate he does in the book, because at the end of the book, I think he, falls down like into a ravine or something,
Yeah.
and the little tiny dinosaurs that eat that girl, they come in, they rip him apart.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, and it's awful. Yeah.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. And like in this one, he's also like, Jurassic Park is for the people. It's not just for the ultra wealthy. Like he wants
We'll
to
have a
share.
coupon day.
Yeah, like he
Yeah.
wants to share the magic of the island. So he does play an incredibly wealthy financier who has a private
Spared
island
no expense.
called Little St. James.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna come back to that.
Welcome.
We're gonna come back to that.
Tasteless.
Little St. James.
Tasteless.
Well, the names came out.
You sure did.
And there was one, I mean, maybe I'll just mention this right now, but there was one that I was genuinely surprised to see. Because, Bill Clinton, like,
Michael Stipe.
Sorry?
Michael
Stipe, of course. All of those scientists, right, who have slightly more plausible deniability than everyone else. So like, oh, no, he was just interested in science. He was funding my science. Like, oh, okay, that sounds like bullshit, but it's a better excuse than like, what was Kevin Spacey doing on there?
Yeah.
Anyway. Dr. Ian Malcolm was on the list. Did you see that?
No.
I thought that was really surprising.
That is.
Do you know who that is?
No. His name sounds familiar, but I might be thinking of Malcolm Gladwell.
No, Malcolm Gladwell possibly on the list. No, Dr. Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park, Jeff Goldblum's character.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you not see that?
Now I know why it's familiar.
Yeah.
Because I watched that movie
You
today.
watched that movie, yeah. Today? You don't even know his name? That really, my whole joke really fell apart.
I fucked it up, yeah.
God damn it. I should have waited.
He would have been on the list for sure.
Well, we'll get to that, but he's a bit of a predator.
He's a horn dog.
he's a horn dog. And it's any day now that Jeff Goldblum gets canceled for something or other.
For playing jazz.
It's
a jazz trio.
For being too cool. Speaking of canceled people, we meet Dennis Nedry, right? who gets canceled by life, by dinosaur.
By Diphalophorus or something
well,
like that.
I've actually written it down here, just to be clear, it is Dilphosaurus. Dilphosaurus.
Dad, I'd like to fuck a saurus.
Yeah, Dilphosaurus.
That's sick.
No, it's Wait, no, fuck.
It's like Diloph.
I mixed up the joke cards. Yeah. No, Dilophosaurus.
Okay.
Yeah, Dilphosaurus. The one with the peacock thing. What's it called? The gill.
Yeah,
the
like
extendable gill.
A silver fox, a nice head of gray hair comes out. Oh, hello, Wayne Knight. Daddy. Another distinct memory from when I was a kid was when he's going through like how he's going to steal the dinosaur embryos, and he shows like the shaving cream, like the fake shaving cream.
Yes.
He spurts out some shaving cream, and it's just so satisfying the way it comes out.
And he
it's
puts
like
it on the pie.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that looks delicious.
That's
right?
another funny sound effect. Is
Shaving
when
cream pie.
they crank it open, it goes like it makes a kind of a wheezing sound.
Right. Yes.
And it matches up with his laugh, like his Yeah, you could Spielberg. This fucking guy.
Probably threw a Wilhelm scream in there.
Oh, well, actually, no. I don't think so.
He did. Definitely.
He did?
Oh,
Okay.
Definitely.
Dodgson, we've got Dodgson here. Great line. I think about that all the time.
Yeah.
When we're talking about the films of David Dobkin.
Mm.
Dobkin, we've got Dobkin here. I believe I said that on the Shanghai Nights episode.
Yep. I think you might have.
Played by Cameron Thor, who is actually a sex offender.
Okay, great.
Yes. So there you go.
Yeah.
It all ties together.
Sure does.
It all ties together. So rest in peace, Cameron Thor. He did not come back with a sequel. If I remember correct, because I think I read the Lost World book as well, which is like not as good. Dodgson is like a big character in the book, but not so much in the movie.
Yeah.
He didn't do his sex offending till later, but maybe they got a whiff of it and were like, sorry. Don't get cheap on me, Dodgson. What else do we have here? And then we're introduced to the whole gang, right? We got the hotshot Dr. Ian Malcolm, sex pest, rock star chaostician.
What was he doing
leather
there?
clad. Yeah.
What was he? Did he get any massages?
Oh, I'm sure he did. Yeah.
Oh, the dinosaurs are cool, but where could I get a massage?
And I think this is when we first get the full like John Williams score too, when they're flying in, right?
Yeah,
The like full like da 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 da.
the most iconic moment for me is, of course, when they see like the brontosauruses.
Oh, yeah.
And the things, but it probably plays then too.
I think okay. Well, the classic bit of foreshadowing, right? When they've got the buckles, right? And Grant is Sam Neill, of course, Laura Dern. We love all these people. These are all great actors.
Love them.
Richard Attenborough, as I said.
The two kids.
The two kids, yeah, who are mostly known for this, I guess. When Timmy grew up, Timmy is like one of the guys in Social Network who's like one of the coding bros that with Mark Zuckerberg, like one of their like Harvard friends.
What about the girl?
I don't know what she did. I don't know if she acted much after that.
Bummer.
Yeah, so he has, I guess for lack of a better term, like the two like female buckles, right?
Yes.
Which I know is like a stupid way of saying it, but you know what I mean.
I know what I mean. They don't connect.
They don't connect.
Yes.
It sounds sparse. It sounds sparse now. But like the dinosaurs being all female, you know, life finds a way.
Yes.
He ties the buckles up and it is belted into his seat, You ever think about it? If you think about it.
That's actually a great
foreshadowing in it, right?
That's pretty smart.
Yeah, that's right.
But he also does like, lay it out for you. He says like, just because you're made all females doesn't mean life won't find a way or whatever.
They lay it out for you. Yeah. I mean, they lay it out for you. This movie is not a deep movie. I don't think this movie, I don't think the themes in this movie run particularly deep. I think the reason why it's so good
the dinosaurs
is mostly spectacle.
But I don't like the sprinkling of theme that they do have, which is mostly laid out by Jeff Goldblum's character, Malcolm Gladwell.
Yes.
Where he says like the scientists, they were focusing on what they could. They didn't think like if they should or something, which kind of, I think, sums up like the thesis of the movie, which is like interesting enough. And of course, like the way it's portrayed is with dinosaurs, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. And I love that character.
The rock star mathematician.
Yeah, it's very funny. Yeah. And I love that he when he says like I hate being right all the time, right? Like he is right all the time.
Yeah.
And that's why he got to be in Jurassic Park 2.
Yes.
We're going to get a whole lot more Ian Malcolm.
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
And then
fun.
Less Alan Grant, but then more Alan Grant in number 3.
And then nobody who we give a shit about for 2 movies, and then everybody comes back for number 3. Jurassic World Dominion.
Oh yeah, right. They do come back. I forgot about that.
Yep,
oh, wow.
it's bad.
So it must be good.
No. So Spielberg, right?
Your favorite guy?
Not my favorite guy. I do like Steven Spielberg films, most of them, and I do like this one a lot. Though I think, and I mean, when I was a kid, I was like, oh, sure, this is my favorite. I don't think so anymore. I think I'm more drawn to his more emotionally terroristic films like E.T. or AI.
AI, yeah.
Any film that has 2 letters,
AI has slowly kind of like risen to the top for me out of Spielberg movies I've seen. It's
really good.
It's
sick.
It's unique.
E.T. as well, just awful.
I gotta rewatch
disturbing
E.T.
film. Yeah. But what he does so well, obviously, and in this film, they're really like the two like big dinosaur set pieces, like the T-Rex attack and the raptor attack in the kitchen.
Yes,
those are really the 2 like big ones that stick out of my memory. But like you were saying, what is perhaps the most iconic moment of them all is the very first time they see a dinosaur, when they see the Brontosaurus. And all of the actors play it so well when they do their Spielberg wonder shot, where it's a shot of them looking at something spectacular that they've never seen before, that like reorganizes their brain. And it's all on their face first. And then when you cut to the dinosaur, it's like, it's great, but it's the shots of them first.
Absolutely. Like I was thinking, because I watched it earlier today, and during that scene, I was like, man, Sam Neill is selling this so
the way
well.
the way he takes off his sunglasses,
beautifully done. And then he turns Laura Dern's head.
The way he turns her head is hilarious.
It's really like super well done. And then you see the dinosaurs, and it looks pretty majestic, beautiful. It would make me believe in God if I saw it.
Yeah.
But and maybe now's a good time to talk about the effects. The effects, stunning, mind-blowing for the time.
Yeah.
For today, still pretty good.
Still really
good. Which is saying a lot, now that it's like 30 years old.
Yeah, and so let's talk about those for a little bit. Like, I think I read somewhere, and I don't know if this is like 100% down to the minute, but there's basically like 15 minutes of like dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 9 minutes of those are practical, and 6 minutes are CGI. So, and you can tell which ones are CGI now. Like that entire Brontosaurus scene is CGI. Most of the Brontosaurus heads in the other Brontosaurus scenes when they're up in the tree are practical, right?
Yes.
The long shot that you see of the Brontosaurus and the other, in that same scene, in the same first scene,
like getting out of the water.
Those are CGI, and that works really well because it's like hazed
further
up in
away
the distance, right?
Too,
The T-Rex attack, which we'll definitely talk about, probably I still think is maybe the best scene in the movie. It works so well because the practical T-Rex is terrifying, and I think it was I don't know if it still is, but it was definitely the biggest animatronic that Stan Winston Studios had made at the time. And the fact that they do it in the rain, so they're constantly trying to wipe it off and stuff. The shots where you see it move like it has to be CG, I still think look great. And because of the way that, the choices that Spielberg made to shoot it in darkness and in the rain and everything like that. Yeah. But to me, the scenes, the parts that are so viscerally terrifying are when you see the actual full size skull and they're shining the light into it, its eye dilates, or when it comes down through the sunroof.
Yeah.
It's just terrifying.
Because
it's real.
Yeah,
right?
And another great fuck those kids moment. And it even, Sam Neill takes a second before he springs into action with a flare to kind of distract the T-Rex or get its attention away from the kids. Him and Jeff Goldblum are just kind of watching these kids slowly enter peril.
Yeah.
Which is also enjoyable.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a couple of things I wanted to point out here as well. So when they say we're out of a job, do you mean extinct, right? That comes from a real exchange with Phil Tippett. So there's Stan Winston dinosaurs, Phil Tippett dinosaur supervisor, because he was doing all of the stop motion, go motion stuff, which was an option that they were looking at. Well, I think it was Dennis Murin and some of the other guys were working on the CG. And when they finally showed I think it's the T-Rex eating the Gallimimus scene, and they were look, we could do it. Then they kind of moved towards that. But Phil Tippett stayed on as the supervisor and working the motion and all this other stuff. He made a great go motion dinosaur movie. I forget what it's called. I'll look it up. That is definitely worth watching. It's called Prehistoric Beast from 1985. You can see it on YouTube. And I think that was a line that actually kind of came from him, right? Where it was he'd say something it looks like I'm out of a job. And someone had said, don't you mean extinct? And that made it into the movie. Little IMDb trivia fun fact for you.
Super fun.
You got the ride video, right? Mr. DNA. Hello, John.
Yeah.
Hello, John. Hello, John.
I always loved how satisfying that amber flowing over that, or I guess sap covering the mosquito and then turning into amber was.
That were me.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of these.
Fucking tie me to a tree and just fossilize me.
I like to when they say sophisticated techniques to extract the DNA. They just stick a needle up this mosquito's ass. Come on.
They drill a hole in it and then they just stick a needle.
I could do that.
Yeah, I could.
What are these characters? Autoerotica? It's a great line. That's a line for the adults in the audience.
Yeah.
B.D. Wong as Dr. Henry Wu,
yes.
Everyone's favorite character who will return.
He does.
in the new movies.
Yeah, I remember that.
Just remember him up here.
He
Small scene, but remember him. He's coming back.
Great on Oz.
Oh, yeah? He's in Oz, too?
Yeah, I think he was
Who's
like
not in Oz?
the priest or something.
We simply deny them that chromosome. Life will find a way, blah, blah, blah. Again, they visit the raptors, right? They should all be destroyed. It's a line I say a lot in my, just in general.
You're walking around.
And when you see that cow getting lowered into the raptor pit, I wish that were me.
Yeah,
I wish that were me.
Just fucking hoist me into the pit.
Here's another two Ian Malcolm lines that I say a lot as well. That you can drop at a dinner party at any moment, anytime anyone really says anything.
Yeah, let's
because
hear 'em.
you know. The lack of humility before nature that's being displayed here staggers me. You could say that at any point. Because we're always in nature,
just
right?
flows in conversation, right? Like, oh, Ben, could you pass me the sugar?
The lack of humility before nature that's being displayed here staggers me. And then, of course, what you call discovery, I call the rape of the natural world. These are just things you could just throw out, you know, when you're a leather-clad scientist, you know.
For sure.
Yeah.
What you call discovery, I call the rape of the natural world.
Yeah, that one's maybe a little heavy. You should be careful with that one. The only one I've got on my side is the blood-sucking lawyer. It's a great line.
Yeah,
these are all great lines.
True. That lawyer gets like a hard time in the movie. You know?
He gets pissed on. Yeah.
And then eventually
ripped apart. They emphasize that he's ripped apart.
Yeah.
Bob Peck as a Muldoon, right? The warden, you know. He's so good.
And unfairly mauled to death as well.
Yes, and died too soon. Bob Peck in real life. I would suggest listeners see Edge of Darkness, the BBC miniseries, which they remade as like a Mel Gibson movie in the 2010s or whatever. The original, so good.
Name sounds familiar. Edge of Darkness.
And he is so good in it too.
Is he related to Gregory Peck?
Bob Peck?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Scout.
I don't think so. Samuel Jackson as Mr. Arnold.
Always rocks.
Hold on to your butts.
So nice when he turns around in his chair and he's smoking a cigarette.
He's always smoking. I know. We got Wayne Knight, of course, as Dennis Nedry. Computer whiz / programmer / hacker, who is also a disgusting fat slob. Isn't that interesting? what an interesting take on that character.
Yeah. No, man.
Yeah. One of the other moments I noticed, I think maybe more for the first time that I thought was really funny, is when they're in the car and Jeff Goldblum is like, you know, they go past the T-Rex paddock and he doesn't show up, right? And then he says, the Tyrannosaur doesn't obey the set patterns or park schedules, the essence of chaos. And then he drums on his lap like he's like bada bada bada, you know, like he's so cool.
He's such a chaos agent. He's literally he's the Joker. He's the Joker, baby.
He is. And also he was on the flight logs. 100%, I guarantee it.
The batch that still hasn't been released.
Oh yeah. Dr. Ian Malcolm, watch out. Yeah, and you know what happens, right? There's subterfuge, right? There's a shot. I notice also there's a side profile shot of Nedry's workstation. You know, because there's that line like, "Look at this workstation."
Yeah.
Like, it's disgusting. There's a side profile shot of it, and I watched it on the 4K as well, so you could really tell some of the details, just how filthy it is. Like there's like garbage all over the place.
And he's like, you see a window open, and he's playing chess. Just like the world's worst employee.
He's got an Oppenheimer picture, eh? Did you notice that?
I did not notice
He's got a little Oppie there.
What's his name? Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
Who can blame him?
Yeah. Talking about like special effects and how good some of the practical stuff is. The sick Triceratops.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I remember watching like, you know, behind the scenes footage of that scene and like the animatronic that they built and like getting it to breathe, you know, like the deep breathing it was doing and
crazy.
The sleep around its eyes.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about
mucus.
Yeah. And you want to talk about practical effects. That's some of the most realistic looking dinosaur shit I've ever seen.
Yes.
It was actually just tons of shit that Steven Spielberg himself created and just stored in preparation for the movie.
Oh, yeah,
Two giant mounds of Steven Spielberg shit.
There's a great shot of Spielberg next to the Triceratops like prop, and people share it, and they're like, Like, look at this, like, rich guy hunting, you know. Like, I think Joyce Carol Oates tweeted it once. She was like, "This is disgusting." It's so funny. There's a shot too of Goldblum like swaggering over to the dino shit. Like he's just kind of like, you know. It's
Let
like,
me take a look at this.
Dino droppings.
Yeah. That's like me after I have a Taco Bell.
Hey, well, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Oh, it's a movie like this that I've just seen so many times that it's like the things that I find comforting is not what's happening in the plot or even certain actors or this or that. It's like it's as basic as like noises and like colors. So like, you know, the park noise, it's like beep 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 boop 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 boop, you know. When I heard that, I was like, oh yes, you know, I'm home.
Similar to me, it's like it's that stupid font that they use on all the signage in Jurassic Park. You know what I mean? Like, it's impossible for me to talk about this movie like as an objective like motion picture. You know, it's so fucking ingrained in so many memories of just watching it as a kid and like loving it. Like, I don't even know if I really like the movie, but it just like releases so much endorphins in me and like dopamine.
No, me too. I mean,
and you know, it does scare the shit out of you. It's such a great like introduction for scary shit for kids. You know what I mean? Because it's still like, I mean, it's pretty grim.
It's pretty scary.
Yeah, totally.
You know, they don't really have. I mean, what is the most graphic, like a dinosaur eats somebody? Is it the T-Rex eating the lawyer?
The lawyer, probably.
Because he gets like chomped and like, you know, kind of shaken about. And in the second one, they actually rip the guy apart. The second one is way more violent.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But the Dilphosaurus coming on Wayne Knight, that really scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Oh yeah, because you know, in his scream too, how he's got the two-toned like
two-tone scream.
Yeah, the Dilphosaurus, and of course the cartoon noises he slaps. Yeah, whoop, that's great. Oh yeah, well, and I remember when because he fucks up like hard, right?
Wayne Knight,
yeah,
dude,
yeah, bad plan.
Bad timing too, because a giant tropical storm is on its way in.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not entirely his fault.
What luck?
Yeah, you're right. I know. And when you say find entry, check the vending machines.
Check the cafeteria.
Yeah.
Check the dessert line at the cafeteria.
Yeah, check the immaculate dessert. There's just pause.
Oh my god,
dinosaurs eating all the desserts. No, it was Dennis.
The fucking dessert scenes in this movie, like I've never wanted Jell-O more in my life.
I know, it looks really good. Right?
Or when fucking David Attenborough's just eating all that ice cream.
Richard, please. His name's Richard. David's the other guy.
I don't care.
You should care. I'm telling you should care.
That was a Freudian slip. I want to fuck David.
Yeah. Yeah. His beautiful voice. I like when he's talking to the dinosaur, the Dilphosaurus, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "What do you want? Food? I have no food on me. I have nothing on me."
Tries to throw a stick to get it to fetch, and he's like, "No wonder you went extinct."
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I remember that death in the book is like way more. Well, they're all.
I'm sure, yeah.
But in that one, it is like he rips out his intestines, and it's like. It's something like the last thing that he was like conscious of was like his intestines spilling out on the rocks or something, and they're steaming, and
Michael Crichton, you're sick.
He
buddy.
is sick. He is. Well,
someone get him a mental doctor.
Right? Exactly.
He's dead.
Yeah, he is dead. Yeah.
Thank God.
He made this book. He was like, okay, Michael, you're on top of the world. You got some more books. And then he makes Rising Sun, which is like we should be wary of the Japanese economic power. And then he makes Disclosure, which is like, what if a man was sexually assaulted by a woman?
Ooh.
Makes you think, you know,
what?
from the guy who came up with Billy and the Cloneasaurus, you know.
Man assaulted by woman.
Yeah. Oh my God. What if Demi Moore sexually assaulted Michael Douglas? Great movie. You should really watch it.
Is that like the film version of the book?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yep. And the film version, I believe we've discussed on the show, the film version of Rising Sun has Sean Connery as a weeb, where he says, "I'm an expert in Japanese culture."
I distinctly remember you
Wesley
doing
Snipes is like, "Yeah, I don't know anything about Japan." Like, "Oh, don't worry.
Well, let me tell you.
Let me tell you all about Yakuza steel.
These are my Harajuku girls."
You're so kawaii. But
It's so kawaii.
you know how the rest of it goes. The park is breaking down. There's the shot of Malcolm. Well, okay, Malcolm's tossed aside. He's okay.
Yeah, he gets to chill out for most of the movie.
Yeah, he gets
eventually.
to kind of relax. There's a shot of him, the stunning shot, right, that people paint portraits of, where he's shirtless and like sweating, and
Yeah,
it's a hero shot.
Do you love Jeff Goldblum as much as the world loves Jeff Goldblum?
I don't like him in the kind of like, isn't he a cute little whatever kind of way. I think he's a good actor. Yeah. And, is he going to be canceled coming up soon? Possibly. We don't know yet. I mean, maybe. I've heard maybe. But before that happens, let's get in on the Jeff Goldblum love, right?
But I don't. Also, like, I think the whole like people losing their minds over Jeff Goldblum. I get he's a handsome dude. He seems cool. He plays the dry, sardonic guy in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
I know. I don't know. Celebrity worship, it's not for me.
Totally.
Anyway, here's the top 5 Jeff Goldblum performances.
Thor.
Oh, yeah,
He's
right.
In one of the Thors.
Yeah. Oh, God.
No, I'd much rather fuck Australian hunk Sam Neill.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I do love Sam Neill.
Yeah. Did you ever watch Dead Calm?
I have seen Dead
Calm. With him and Billy Zane and Nicole
Kidman. He's good in that.
Great movie.
Yeah. Possession, of course.
I still haven't watched my 4K of it.
Oh, we're going to watch it together. We'll watch it together. Yeah. I love
the only movies we watch together are for this stupid pod.
I know, and that's a damn shame, isn't it? Well, one of these days we'll
damn shame.
It's a damn shame. I like Jeff Goldblum. I think he's great in The Fly. I think he's great in
Grundlefly.
This. I think he's great in Adam
Wes
Resurrected,
Anderson stuff.
The Wes Anderson stuff.
Still haven't watched Adam Resurrected.
Let me think here. What else we got? The Gallimimus, Timmy gets cooked, right? He gets fried. That's always fun.
Oh yeah, also a case of fuck the kids, and because it's funny. Is it funny? Like his grandfather, David Attenborough.
Richard Attenborough.
Fuck!
Richard Attenborough. David Attenborough, not
Richard
an actor.
Attenborough.
He's a British
the presenter. Yes, okay. Richard Attenborough. He's coaching Laura Dern on how to turn all the power back on.
Oh yeah.
So he's the one effectively, dooming Timmy to electric shock.
Yeah.
And when Timmy goes flying off the fence, I'm sorry,
it's funny.
Laughed.
It's funny. It's funny. When you're a kid, you're like, oh no, that could be me. But when you're an adult, you're like,
well, he lands on the ground and Sam Neill's like, he's not breathing.
Oh, it's serious. Yeah, it's serious. And because Sam Neill gives them the fake out, right?
Oh yeah, that was very funny too.
I know. Oh, cruel. But you're talking about like whatever the other like thematic concerns like mixed in, right? Like Dr. Grant becoming like comfortable with kids.
Yes,
right?
totally.
It's like, so this is what I mean is like like great, like sure, and it's well woven into the movie. Yeah. But like, is it substantial? Does it mean much to me? Like no. I don't care. And there's no through line of that in the sequels, really. I mean, except that there are usually kids of some kind in the films.
Yes.
Unfortunately. Yeah. When really no kids should be on this island.
Agreed. They should be relegated to the daycare pen.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. With the harmless dinosaurs, the little tiny ones that only take little tiny bites. Yum, yum. Yeah, they're running through the park. I don't know. What else do you got? Mr. Arnold gets killed off screen unceremoniously. Muldoon, right? Clever girl gets it in the bush, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there was one thing, I'd say like I'd knock against this movie, it would just be that the whole kind of, after that the first string of set pieces, the nighttime when it's really dark, like the stuff. I mean, the stuff in the morning, like the stampede of whatever those stupid dinosaurs are. Gallimimus, that's the one.
Gallimimus. That's what it is.
Intergalactic Gallimimus.
Yeah.
that part's cool, but the whole like race to turn the power on, and it's like they're trying to fend off the velociraptors in the kitchen or whatever while just like getting the power on. Like,
you see, the velociraptors are the villains, right?
Yeah, because they're smart.
At the end,
6-foot turkeys.
The ultimate sin of a sin when the T-Rex comes in
out of nowhere.
You see, the T-Rex is our friend.
Yes.
Right? At first, he presented as the ultimate big bad.
Yes.
But really, the velociraptors, because of their cunning and intellect, they are evil. They are like ontologically evil.
Intellectuals are evil.
Yes, yeah. And the T-Rex is our friend. He's the hero
Big,
of Jurassic
bulky
Park. He becomes the
jock.
hero of the series.
Yes.
Quite literally in the Jurassic World movies, where he like kills all the other bad dinosaurs, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It gets really silly.
It does. But also CinemaSin, it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot
Like
of
it
sense.
just kind of reaches in and eats a velociraptor, and you're like, how did you not notice there was a giant fucking T-Rex like storming through this museum or this lobby?
I do think if there's a big kind of flaw, I think the T-Rex attack scene on the cars, I think is maybe the best constructed scene in the movie.
Yeah.
The raptor attack in the kitchen, very close second.
Yes.
The ending scene, you know, and there's been so much, you know, it's not like you need to end on a giant kind of, you don't need to outdo those other two set pieces. But I think having the T-Rex come in kind of Deus Ex Machina style and ripping them up, it's a little like silly.
Yeah. And I just find that
that sounds silly saying that. Because it's a silly movie. Right?
At the end of the day, it's Billy and the Cloneasaurus.
It's Billy and the Cloneasaurus.
And I also just find the kind of the race to like automate the locks again, you know, to like hack into the computer so that they can lock the doors is just kind of, I don't know. Like as an adult, I'm like, okay.
I don't know. But it leads like the door locks thing and how the raptors know how to open doors. Like I like all that stuff. And the shot of one of the scariest shots, and I think actually maybe the only shot I really remember from seeing it in 3D, because it's one of the only like depth kind of ones, when the raptor jumps up and like tries to snap at Lex or something when she's like climbing into
the vents.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Yeah. I guess I'll just say, like, you know, as an adult, like the only real knock against it I have is like it just kind of it loses a bit of steam for me like towards the end, you know, like. But I've also watched this a million times, and you know it's not like it's. I'd love to see it in theaters in 3D, you know, just to get something a fresh viewing experience.
Well, I mean, the 3D probably sucked.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. Yeah,
see it in theater in a whatever 4K. Or on a film print maybe.
But yeah, you know, I've just seen it a million times, like super familiar with it. It doesn't really have any tricks up its sleeves anymore.
Yeah.
Though that little female to female buckle thing, pretty
makes you think, doesn't it?
Totally.
I've got another one for you. You ever think about this? Well, at the end of the movie, when they're flying out, when he says, "I decided not to endorse your park," and they fly off, right?
Yeah.
What's he look outside the bird, the helicopter, right? And he sees, what does he see? Pelicans, right?
Yeah.
And what does he say earlier in the movie? He says, "I bet you never look at a bird the same way ever again."
Right.
And then what's he looking at? He's looking at a bird. You ever think about that? you ever think about that?
I saw a lot of pelicans in Florida.
Oh, shut up!
Beautiful.
We're not talking about your trip to Florida anymore.
Beautiful birds. I just wanted to climb in their mouths.
Yeah, I wish that were me. I mean, these movies are. I wish that were me. No, the pelicans. You know, and he's looking at the pelicans, and there's a sense of relief on his face. You know, and I think when I was a kid,
birds are birds.
When I think I was a kid, I don't know if I was kind of like, I wish there were more dinosaurs. I was like, I wish those were pterodactyls. And in one of the movies, they are. I'm pretty sure.
3.
Well, 3. I know they get into
have
3.
The bird cage.
But no, I appreciated that ending. Now I was like, nice. Like this is, you know, it ties it all together. You know,
it. The dinosaurs became birds.
I still don't think dinosaurs are birds.
I don't think birds are real. You know that conspiracy that birds are drones or whatever?
That's hokum. More hokum. Balderdash.
Bull roar.
Okay. Let's rate the movie. What do you think? Yeah.
Out of a pack of 12 velociraptors.
Oh, that's a
hunting
lot.
pack of 12 velociraptors.
12.
What would you give this movie?
11.
Yeah, 11. I'd give it like 10 or 11.
Yeah,
like it's close
possibly
to
12.
Yeah,
possibly 12. I mean, like, you know, if I were like, I don't know, you know, I'd give it a full marks. It's impossible to rate it objectively.
Totally.
It's just something I've seen too many times.
Just to compensate for that, I'll say 10.
Sure.
But yeah, like it's a pretty. You think of movie making magic, Jurassic Park, one of the big ones that probably comes to mind.
Yeah, definitely. And like thinking about Spielberg's movies, I know I mentioned this on one of the other shows. It's crazy that he did this and was like, okay, work on the post-production and special effects. I got to go direct Schindler's List. And then 2 years later, he's like, I could probably do another Jurassic Park. And then he's like, all right, well, while I'm doing this, you guys are finishing this up. I'm going to go make Amistad. He's like, only a true psycho would do that.
Yeah.
But good for him.
Oh,
good for him.
Yeah, great.
I am really looking forward to watching The Lost World, Jurassic Park.
I haven't seen that one. That's probably the one I haven't seen in the longest time.
Possibly me as well.
So I'm pretty pumped for that as well.
Yeah.
I remember Pete Postlewaite is in it. Great character actor. So I'm pretty excited to see some Postlewaite action.
There's so many more people to get eaten. And I mean, the thing, like that one, the thing I remember, like the raptors in the grass, just like so iconic.
I don't even remember that.
That's one of the best scenes in the whole franchise. And what else you got? I mean, stuff like that. But the idea of that movie being kind of nastier and kind of like a little bit, the sense of wonder is gone. And I remember, some people think this is one of his lesser films. So I'd be interested to see like how I react to it, like as an adult.
It always starts with oohs and ahs, and then it becomes screams and whatever. I forget that line. Yeah,
that's right.
Malcolm Gladwell.
There's a lot of Goldblum in it. Yeah, that's right.
Plenty of Jeff to go around.
Well, we will see you next week on another Dino-tastic episode of the franchisees.
Dino-tastic.
Yeah.
It'll be a roar of a time.
Yeah. A podcast 65 million years in the making. And a happy birthday shout out to friend of the pod, future guest Jardana. 65 million years in the making. Jardanasaur. We love you. Happy birthday.